Shahilad is shaping up to be a force to be reckoned with even against itself. Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures' Dune Part 2 has only been in theaters for 1 week, but has already passed the total domestic box office haul of its predecessor, 2021's Dune Part 1. The Denis Villeneuve-directed sci-fi epic is already one of the biggest hits of the year at the box office and doesn't appear to be slowing down. Through its 7th day in theaters, Dune Part 2 has brought in just over $111 million in the United States. In comparison, Dune ended its domestic box office run with just over $109 million. While the second installment hasn't made quite as much overseas, Dune Part 2 is already more than halfway to catching the global box office run of Dune, which ended at $400 million. Not only is Dune Part 2 already past its predecessor, but it is also exceeding most analysts' expectations. This appears to be a massive upswing for a two-part film from its first chapter to its second chapter, though there may be a few reasons for this. Dune received a day-and-date release on HBO Max, partially as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, people that wanted to catch the beginning of the story could do so at home, compared to Dune Part 2, which was released theatrically only. Despite this, the project remained popular among film buffs, which helped it secure box office tickets, and Dune recently added another $30 million to its original $400 million haul as the result of a 1-week re-release. However, Dune Part 2 will likely pass that easily at this pace, and is currently tracking to earn around $600 million total at the global box office. Dune Part 2 has been critically acclaimed. Much of the success of Dune Part 2 has been courtesy of the extreme hype surrounding its release. Based on the classic sci-fi novel by Frank Herbert, the film continues the story of Paul Atreides, Timothée Chalamet, who escapes into the desert with his mother, Rebecca Ferguson, Chani, Zendaya, and the rest of the Fremen. From there, he must learn the ways of the native people of Arrakis while also fighting to reclaim the planet from the Harkonnens, stopping the Padishah Emperor Shad Am-4 Christopher Walken, and dealing with the Fremen prophecy that overshadows him. The film, which has received critical acclaim, also stars Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, and more. Villeneuve directed Dune Part 2 from a screenplay he wrote with John Spates. The film is a co-production between Legendary and Warner's and was produced by Villeneuve, Tanya Lapointe, Mary Parent, Cale Boyder, Patrick McCormick, and Jessica Durhammer. Dune Part 2 is now playing in theaters.